We got our 2012 LR4 in the shop today. We're going to be replacing this alternator, and you won't be able to see it, but it's on the passenger side, front, bottom corner. So I probably should tell you why I'm changing out the alternator on this. So on the previous video, when we swapped out the throttle body and replaced the gasket or the seal for the throttle body, took it for a test drive and we lost some power. We had some power issues. Definitely electrical. The engine never shut down. So I put my scanner on it and watched it. And what I noticed with this particular alternator, with the alternator that's on there right now, when I let off the gas, my voltage would jump up to 14.65, 67. And then as it slowed down, it would drop down to 12.5, 12.6, and then level back off around 13.7. Cruising down the highway, steady 13.7 was good. But during deceleration, I was getting this 1 to 1.5 volt fluctuation. I ran my 2011 and it stayed within 1/4 of a volt. And then I ran my son's LR3 and it's like rock solid, doesn't fluctuate at all. When you search on the internet, you'll get some crazy numbers of fluctuation, allowable fluctuation. I just never caught it go below 12.65, which 12.65, I'm gonna guess this alternator wasn't putting out anything. So I'm gonna swap this out and then run the same test and see if it's tighter control. My theory behind this is the alternator's starting to go out and the body control module regulates voltage. So when the system demands more voltage, it's supposed to allow more voltage and vice versa and try to maximize efficiency at the same time, power and efficiency. So I'm thinking the alternator's starting to fail and the voltage swings are so much that the body control module is having a hard time compensating and controlling it. So that's my theory. Swapping it out with one I already have, and we'll see, run the test and see if my theory is correct or if I'm just throwing darts. All right, so I tried to capture what I was seeing, and this X tool doesn't have the best capture option. So let's see what we can come up with. You can see we're cruising right around 1700 RPMs, between 17 and 1750. I'll start decelerating and you'll see the voltage, which is staying right around 14. It'll jump up to about 14.6. So there you can see that's the peak, right around 14.65 it looks like. And then I'm slowly decelerating. Now this is every 1 second. So you can see the RPM at the top is dropping. My load on the engine is dropped. So I had a spike in my voltage. Before I decelerated, it stayed right around 14. Now decelerating, she jumped up to 14.6. And as we watch this, it'll take a little bit, but it'll eventually drop down to 13.5 or so. So that's I was seeing at least a 1 volt swing. And I know it's gonna adjust to fluctuate a little bit, but this seemed pretty excessive. And what I noticed is it stays high as I'm decelerating, and then as soon as I start accelerating, it drops the voltage down. So this is what made me think the alternator is failing and the voltage is not being, the BCM, body control module, is not able to control the voltage swings as well as it needs to. So comparing this to my other vehicles, I never, at the most I'd see a 1/4 volt fluctuation. We'll watch it. So it's all the way up to 14.67 so far. So now the voltage is dropping. And we went down to 13.34. So that's almost, what is that, 1.3 volt swing. So now that I'm accelerating, my voltage is steadying out. I mean, I guess my engine speed's steady. And it's just creeping right back up. So that There to the top left there, you can see minimum 13.34 volts, maximum 14.67 volts. So this is just over that short period. This is where I was seeing that voltage swing is too high, making me think it's the alternator. So that's why we're going to swap out the alternator. First I'm going to do is just disconnect the battery so we don't have any arcing and sparking. Then we'll get underneath and show you what to do. So to orient you, this is an engine that I have out of a Land Rover. Here's your alternator. You're facing the engine, standing in front of the car. It's going to be down here. You're going to have 3 number 13 millimeter bolts, and those 2 down there. Then a 13 to take off the main power wire, and then there's a clip right there that you have to unplug. And that's all you have to do to take it off the engine. We will have to remove a dust shield. Once I get underneath, I'll show it to you. I just wanted to give you a good visual on where it's at. Okay, once you have your intake off, you're gonna just pull your hose off this upper shroud. You're gonna unclip here and here where the harness goes. And then you should be able to reach underneath and push the fan up. It should unclip. And then just carefully pull it up. I'm gonna do this probably with 2 hands. Oh, there we go. So then we'll get a wrench under there. If you got an extended 3/8 drive ratchet, mine's a flex head. You're gonna put it right on the tensioner right there. Okay, again, this is not gonna remove the belt. It's just gonna let you take it off the pulleys. You gotta take the fan pedestal off to remove the belt. So I'm gonna be pushing that way with my ratchet, and then I'm just gonna release it, pull it off of this idler pulley above the alternator, and then I can let the ratchet come back. So, all right, we're underneath here. Again, passenger side. It's gonna be kind of tricky to record it, but we gotta remove this dust shield here. There's gonna be 5 clips. You have one here, and then one up front, right there, and then 2 down below. Once you pull the side dust cover off, I'd pull that small front skid plate off. It's just 2 number 13s on the back and 2 number 10s on the front. That allows you to get a second hand up in there, which will make it a lot easier to get that alternator out. Bolts, so we have the 3 bolts that I showed you. There's our electrical bolt, or actually there's our electrical connection right up top with a number 13 for all of them, and then we'll unclip it. So first I'm gonna do is take that electrical connection off, and then I'll get the lower bolts off, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got the alternator installed. What I recommend you doing is start these bottom 2 first. Then I connected my electrical connector up there, plugged in the one in the back, and tighten those down, and then run these all the way in, hand tight, finger tight. That'll suck the alternator to the block, and then that'll make it easier to get that top bolt in. Just don't cross thread it. Give yourself a little bit of movement so you can just shake it around and get that top bolt in. Start it by hand, run them in, tighten them down, and you should be good. Just make sure you got all 3 of these bolts tight. Make sure you got that bolt snug, and then I just put my belt on like that so it's on the alternator pulley, and I'll just pull up against that idler pulley right there is the one that we took it off of. So should be good to go. We'll just make sure that the belt is still lined up with everything else, and we look good. So I'll get up on top, put the serpentine belt back on, put the fan shroud and the air intake back on, and still gotta put the skid plate and dust cover back on. So I'll catch up to you once I get that done. All right, so I went ahead, got my serpentine belt back on. I just want to make sure you guys take your time and make sure everything's lined up, okay? You're in all your grooves. My belt fell off of this one while I was working on it, so I gotta make sure that's up there. You can look at the top and see the pulley that's right back there and the pulley down there. So just make sure it's all in the groove and seated nice before you continue on. Then once you got that in there, we'll go ahead and pull our ratchet out, put our shroud back on and our intake. And I'm gonna go ahead and do an adaptation reset on this just because I wanna not to try, I think it's got the old alternator still. So I wanted to relearn using the new alternator. All right, We got everything buttoned back up. Intake's back on. I'm gonna leave the engine cover off until I'm done. Reconnected our battery, so we are good to go. Just gotta do the adaptation. So I'm gonna get my scanner hooked up, do the adaptation reset, take it for a test drive. All right, so we just got done with a nice long test drive, and our voltage stayed steady. We're staying right around that 14.5 volts. I think our highest volt spike we got was 14.7. Really solid. Unfortunately, for some reason my minimum isn't showing up, but it never did a drop. I went through all this behaviors that it did. I went through the same test loop, so it seems to be working really good now. We're gonna do a couple more test drives. Even when I do turn the headlights on, before it used to dip, you can see this one just barely dips. So it looks really good. Don't get any big spikes. So yeah, so far it's working good. We're gonna do a couple more test drives, but unless you hear from me again, we'll call this one complete. We had a failing alternator, and it was just going back and forth. So we're thinking that's what caused our issue. We'll keep you guys posted. But that's gonna be it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. May God bless you.